Welcome to Unknown Content, where I tell you about games you may or may not know about, tell you about wonderful things. Today, we are going to be talking about Concursion. Concursion is a game on Steam that you can get for about $15, and it's a game that's made by Puuba Gaming. And Puuba Gaming is basically made by two guys, Puuba Dave and Puuba Danny, who are really great guys. I played Concursion a long time ago, and it was one of my favorite games of 2014. One of my favorites because it's a 2D platformer game where your basic mechanics are jump and the action button. You got really two buttons and the arrow keys to move. And so it's simple mechanics, except Puuba Gaming, they made it so that their game would basically have all these external mechanics. And one of the biggest things is that this game is a trans-dimensional game, meaning that you have these 5 different dimensions, and as you play, you have to shift through these dimensions and react to it, but your action button doesn't shift you to dimension. In fact, the dimensions act as dimensional rifts. Little rifts that if you jump into, you go into a different dimension. You are a different character. And as such, you've got these 5 wonderful characters. You've got... I'm just going to call them by little names that I've come up with. You've got Mr. Taros, who is your running, jumping, action jumper man. You've got Gattaca, who is the spaceship scrolling shooter guy that you press the action button down and you just shoot and shoot and shoot everything. And it seems pretty simple, but it gets really complicated. Really, really crazy things that these guys have done with the game mechanics. You've also got Mr. McNinja, who's the only one that has a double jump. And he's also got a sword that just slices through everything, which is fun. You got Astro Boy, who you jump by Astro rocketing around. He can't actually walk. You can only move by using the rockets to move around, which is really, really difficult. I hate Astro Boy. All of his levels are the worst in my opinion. Not because they're bad design, but because I hate his movement mechanics. Absolutely, absolutely hate how he moves and how he flies around like he's got all of this happy little, oh, look at me, I'm just flying into spikes, into spikes, into spikes. It's not good, in my opinion. I don't like it. But it's still fun. It's still really well designed. Like, it's not bad as in meshing little horrible things. And the final guy, I like to call Mini Taros Pac-Man, because that's exactly what he does. He acts like Pac-Man, and oftentimes you have to get these little orbs, pick them all up, and a gate will open. And in scrolling levels, it's no fun. Well, it's a lot of fun. The whole game is fun. I love the game. But you're going to die. I promise you that. You're going to die whenever you play this game, because some of these levels are really frickin' brutal. You've got Butterfly Complex, which is in the 4th world, and when I played it, it was an Astro Boy level, and I just... oh god. I couldn't handle it. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I have gotten to the very final end of the game, though, because the game is so good. It's so good. Oy vey, man. Really, really good. I like it. Now, the story of Concursion is a very generic, sort of, the princess gets kidnapped by Mr. Big and Bad, and you are a hero who's going to try and save her. Well, as the game goes along, Puuba Gaming kind of twisted this theme of, oh, the hero has got to go protect the princess. He's got to go defend and save the princess from everyone. From the Mr. Big and Bad. But as things go along, and as you collect more and more of these little green crystals, things get a little funny. Are you really the hero? Are you the villain? Who knows? As you go through all of this, you're going through these trans dimensions, and it becomes very confusing. Confusing because there is a story there, and the more you pay attention to everything that goes on, all the little cutscenes that happen, the more you start to figure out that everything isn't as it seems. Like, the world is not as it seems, and the ending of the game, I am not going to spoil because it is really, really well done. It takes this theme of bad guy kidnaps princess needs to be rescued, and you're the hero that rescues them. It takes that theme and it really throws it on its head, and it's really, really well done. It's very subtle up until the very ending, but once it hits you pretty hard. I liked it. I loved the ending. The ending was great. Now, the bosses are even more of a thing to talk about. Now, for the bosses, as you get farther and farther, you beat each of these little zones you have to go to, and there's a boss at the very end of every zone. There's about 20 levels that you have to go through, collect the crystals if you can, and you fight the boss. You fight the boss of the zone, which is a wonderful thing. These bosses are great. They're very unique in their design, and I love how every boss makes you use one of the dimensions. Some of the bosses will mix and match dimensions later on, which gets really crazy and chaotic, but a lot of these bosses are really fun. You got your standard guy shoots down and you jump on his head like Mario, and then he goes back up, and then he's all of a sudden throwing bombs at you, and it's crazy. and then you get these bosses, this boss that is heroes. It's RPG heroes. And you've got this warrior that you have to kill, and the mage, and the cleric who refuses to heal their team. The cleric refuses to heal her team so much that the warrior has to waste his potions, and one of the best mechanics is that this potion is the same kind of potion you can pick up to heal yourself. So, think about it for a moment. What can you do to stop the boss from healing? Why, you can be a big bad thief and take the potion from them. And it works. You wouldn't think it would work, but it does. And it's one of the main reasons why I love Concursion. The main reason why I love Concursion is not because of these bosses. It's not because of these dimensional shifts, because of game mechanics. It's because when all of these things come together, when everything comes together, you get this sense of learning, the sense of using a new part of your brain. Because you are not in control when things change. You're not in control when everything happens. All you can do is run, jump, and use your action, use your attack. With the with Mini Taros, it's running, it's sprinting basically. With the ninja, it's using your sword. With Gattaca, it's you shooting your shots at the enemies. With the Astro Boy, it's using the rockets. And I'm not actually sure if Mini Taros Pac-Man has an action bar. No, I don't think he does. And that it makes everything unique. It makes all of these ideas unique. Every single aspect of your character is unique to the point where you'll be running, jumping, climbing trees, and then all of a sudden you're rocketing away like it's nobody's business. And it's just so satisfying and cool, and when you beat a level, you get this dance. And it is the freakiest, silliest dance I have ever seen. and it just makes you smile. It is the greatest reward for beating some of these goddamn hard levels that make you want to tear your hair out. Because Puuba Dave and Puuba Danny, who are the creators of this game, they can be monsters when it comes to their game. They can be absolutely mean little things. But they're not impossible. The game itself is not impossible. And that's what is the greatest part about it. That's what makes it so good. You could say that it's akin to how Super Meat Boy is, where you are the reason why you fail. Like, the game is fair to the point where if you miss a jump, if you fall and die, or you jump on spikes and die, or you get hit by something and die, it's really your own fault. And the game can be a lot more forgiving than something as hard as Super Meat Boy. Because you actually have a life bar. Every dimensional character shares a life bar, but the length of each life bar is different. The ninja will have a long life bar. Mini-Taros will have 2 hits. It's the way that everything just flows together. You're in all these different dimensions. But when you go forth, everything comes together. And it makes for one of the greatest games that I have ever played in 2014. And so with that, I will say, give Concursion a look. Have a look at it. Don't take my word for God, but have a look at it. Give the game a chance. It's that good. And Puuba Gaming, they're working on another game. They're working on a second game. Not a sequel, but a whole new game in and of itself. And when that game comes out, I probably will be covering it, because I really enjoy their game. I really enjoy the developers. I enjoy just about everything with it. So, yeah, give it a look. It's not gonna hurt ya. Or, well, it might if you don't like hard games, but, I mean, if you don't like hard games, have somebody watch it. Spread the word. Get a friend to play it. You never know. Stranger things could happen. So now, I want to bid you all adieu, and have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next week with the next game. There might be an annotation somewhere about it. It might be Mechanical Escape, or it might be Sproggy Wood. I don't know yet. The possibilities are endless, just as our future. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I will see you next time. Take care.